What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Off the Schneid. Today we're going to be talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, my Cincinnati Bengals. Let's get that out of the way. I am a Bengals fan, so I'll have a fair amount to say about this one. Fifth overall selection. There's been so much talk about what the Bengals are going to do. Are they going to trade up? Are they going to trade down? Are they going to draft this guy, that guy, whatever? Here's what I want the Bengals to do. I've been saying this since probably November. Guaranteed I was probably one of the first people to say this. Kyle Pitts, 5th overall, lock it in if he's still there. Yes, I said if he's still there. I think there's a potential that Kyle Pitts is not there for the Bengals. If he is, I think that he is absolutely the pick. Have you seen the guy? Just like everything that he can do changes this offense, any offense. It might change the game a little bit. He's 6'6", 250, hand-timed 4.46. You can put that up to 4.5 something. That's still wide receiver numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy is a mismatch nightmare. He's a guy that can absolutely change the way you look at the tight end position, which has been changing and evolving for years. But that's a guy that could completely come in and change any offense. And here's the thing: if you're a Bengals fan, or if you're a fan of whatever it is, if you think they should take Jamar Chase, I get it, LSU connections, blah blah blah, I get it. If you think they should take Jamar Chase, you should want the Bengals to take Kyle Pitts more. He can do more. He can do the same things and more. So why would you go with Jamar Chase if Kyle Pitts is available? I rest my case, but Kyle Pitts is the guy. If he's there at 5, they take him. Please. Like, you have to do it. If he's not, Sewell. Offensive tackle, you have to. That's the only 2 picks for me. If they're both gone, what do? Then maybe you explore trading down, whatever. Figure it out from there. But those are the only 2 picks. Pitts and Sewell are the only 2 picks for me as a Bengals fan. Obviously, if they don't get Pitts, if they get Pitts, you go offensive line in the 2nd round, probably the 3rd too. Like, you have to shore up that offensive line after that moving forward. Absolutely. Is wide receiver still a need? It's less of a need with Pitts, 100%. But if you end up with Sewell, then absolutely wide receiver is a huge need. You know, so the Bengals are almost always in a position where they need to take what the draft gives them. So if Pitts is available, you react accordingly. If Sewell's there, you react accordingly. And that's kind of always how the Bengals do things. Do they trade a lot? No, they do not. They do not trade draft picks very much, especially on draft day type of thing. They really, really do not. So a lot of needs. There's a lot of needs on this team, and most of them are on offense for me. So, absolutely wide receiver, absolutely offensive line, and in my opinion, running back is a fairly big need. If I'm being honest, Joe Mixon is not the guy. If I'm being honest with myself and other Bengals fans, he's not the guy. Too much east-west. We need a guy to run downhill. We really, I think that's something we could really use, is a guy that runs downhill. And Joe Mixon is not quite that guy, if I'm being honest. You know, watch the games. He's a lot of east-west. So Giovanni Bernard is fantastic. A lot of talk about him getting either cut or traded to save cap. We'll see. I don't know how I feel about that, if I'm being honest. I love Giovanni Bernard. I love everything that he can do. He's a great teammate. He's a great player. He's been with the team forever. I do really like Gio Bernard, so I'm not sure how I would feel if they cut him or traded him. I'm not sure. We'll see on that one. Tight end is an absolute need. Drew Sample was definitely not a 2nd round pick, but here we are. But if they go ahead with Kyle Pitts, we'll see what happens. Couple former first round picks, Billy Price and Jonah Williams on the offensive line. They go ahead and bring in Riley Reif, which is a fantastic ad. Quentin Spain came in last year. Michael Jordan, Fred Johnson, Akeem Adeniji. They got a lot of young guys that can be depth guys. They're not exactly guys that you want to rely on completely. And we'll see what happens. Does Sewell come in? Maybe. Does you know what I mean? The second round guy come in? Maybe. We'll see what happens. Again, Bengals are going to take what the draft gives them, in my opinion. They absolutely do need to address the offensive line. Absolutely. They need to continue to address the offensive line, regardless of whether they pick one at 5 or not. So that's what I kind of see. Obviously, they're set at quarterback with Joe Burrow. Brandon Allen can be, a backup for now. I'm not concerned with that. That's the least of my concerns. Wide receiver is absolutely a need as well. Less of a need if they get Pitts. But even if they do get Pitts, they're still going to have to add a wide receiver, maybe in the 5th, 6th with one of those 7th round picks type of thing, bringing a guy to compete. I do like Auden Tate, still very young, 6'5", big body guy. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, we don't really need to talk about. They're guys. They are guys, so they're fine there. A lot of needs, and it's pretty much all on offense for me. Moving to the defense, basically from linebacker back, I think we're completely fine. Brought in Awuzie. Jesse Bates is one of the best safeties in the game. Von Bell's great. They brought in Mike Hilton. Ricardo Allen can be a depth guy. Brandon Wilson, depth guys. Eli Apple, another depth guy. Their linebackers, they got 6 that can all play, in my opinion. They're fine at linebacker. I don't want them to draft a single linebacker this year. Please don't. They did 3, I think, last year. So they're fine there. DJ Reader hopefully stays healthy. Mike Daniels is a backup. That's good. Larry Ogunjobi comes in from the Browns. That's really good pickup. Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson, they're big off, free agent acquisition. Trey Hendrickson getting after the quarterback. I like that, but that's where they need some depth and more rotational guys to help get after the quarterback. You cannot only have 17 sacks as a team. You cannot. And they cannot again this year. So they definitely need to address that as well. Like I said, Mike Daniels and DJ Reader are fine at that position there. And Ogunjobi is going to be good as well. But you need another guy for Ogunjobi. And you need probably 2 more. Like Khalid Kareem and Amani Bledsoe can be, depth guys. But they're not going to be guys that are going to be, 4 to 6 sack guys. Probably not. We'll see. But you need more. You need more guys getting after the quarterback. And that's the only weakness, in my opinion, on this whole defense is on that defensive line is the only weakness. And that's absolutely what they need to address in the draft. Other than that, it's all on the offensive side of the ball for me. Are they going to go after a running back? No. Joe Mixon's going to be the starter. For sure. But if they can get a guy that could, potentially unseat him, and then what happens with Gio Bernard, we'll see. But everything is going to be about the offense. And then we're going to take what the draft gives us. And at number 5, if Kyle Pitts is available, you have to draft him, in my opinion. If not, Sewell. If not, trade down. Those are my scenarios heading into the draft for the Bengals here. So we'll see what happens. Regardless of all that, in a kind of another note, I think that the coaching staff probably needs to go. I would be very okay with the firing of Zach Taylor, which would, trickle down to the rest of the staff most likely. The guy that I want is taking a year off. Jim Schwartz fits this defense. He's a defensive guy. I like defensive guys. Marvin Lewis, Mike Zimmer were both very good coaches for this team. I think that Jim Schwartz is that guy. If he wants to, it's a good spot when you have a quarterback a wide receiver and maybe a tight end type of thing. Offensive line is improving, but he fits the defense and the scheme. So it makes a lot of sense for me. And that's the guy that I want is Jim Schwartz to come in after he takes a year off, fire Zach Taylor and most of his staff follows, and then see what who Jim Schwartz could bring in. That's what I want. That's what I want to happen for the Bengals. Kyle Pitts, Jim Schwartz, address the offensive line in the second round, third round. Take it from there, kind of a thing. So there you go. That's what I'm thinking about the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Look out for my mock draft coming out in a couple weeks, and we'll see you on the next one.